KBLA's 4th anniversary coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Protesting anthems, yes, we chanting a movement of people. It's like we dancing to the ministry of, it's the energy of, in memory of them that we love. The trinity of the people, the peace, the power, the truth. We speak the powers even louder. We can say it blacker, we can say it prouder. A woman vice president that went to Howard. Now we talk helping Black businesses, and our differences is magnificent. Bringing light to the point where the prisons is. I was told good life is where forgiveness lives. The ascension is to leave what's left behind and feed the seeds with deeds that bless the mind, caress the mind, and question justify. With you and God in time, I best align.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, your host and White House correspondent, trying to imitate Questlove the best way possible. It's easy to do coming off of that banger from Common and Raphael Sadiq. I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Follow me on all the social media platforms at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, DRNIIQ, and there I am on Substack, on Instagram, on Spill, on all the platforms, Threads, all of them. Listen, I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Be sure to subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast powered by KBLA. That way you'll never miss an episode. Also, be sure to download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand, or simply tell Alexa to play Talk 1580. And you may want to do that sooner than later if you haven't already, because tomorrow is our big day. This Wednesday, April 16th, is day 100 since the wildfires erupted in Altadena. And we're asking you to join us this week for our live national broadcast of our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall as we commemorate that fateful day, celebrate the resilience of Altadenians, and embrace this beloved Black community. We'll be giving away air purifiers and $100 gift cards to survivors. So please come and join us this Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, for our town hall, the Altadena Eaton Fire 100 Days and Counting. The event is free, but you got to register at KBLA1580.com, where you'll find all the pertinent details about the town hall. You will not hear A More Perfect Union tomorrow because we're going to be live from Altadena with this town hall. But don't you worry, because you can still stream it right here on KBLA Talk 1580. All right? Moving along, it's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. Kicking us off, USA Today is reporting exclusively that the LAPD report shows that the cop didn't question Sean Diddy Combs after the 2022 shooting. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. says that he was 2 feet from a closed bathroom door inside Diddy Combs' LA music studio when shots rang out on September 12, 2022. When the door opened, Combs and his son Justin Dior Combs allegedly walked out, leaving a third man bleeding on the floor in a fetal position with a gunshot wound. That's what Jones says in a civil lawsuit. Jones says he rushed in, put pressure on the wound to the victim's torso, and lifted him onto the toilet seat, instructing an assembled crowd to call 911. He then carried the victim, a musician named G, to the front of the Chalice recording studio to await an ambulance. That's what Jones says in this lawsuit. I want to point out the man did survive. But an 18-page LAPD report of the shooting exclusively obtained by USA Today makes no mention of the bloody scene. Diddy's trial begins very soon, and you better believe this issue is going to come right back up. Moving along, NBC News reporting that experts pan Trump's plan to deport homegrown criminals as obviously illegal. If an immigrant who the government claims is a gang member can be deported to El Salvador without any due process rights, then why not a U.S. citizen? This is exactly what we were just talking about a short while ago with Alan Orr, our immigration's attorney and contributor. This has been a nightmare scenario for a number of folks, particularly immigration advocates and constitutional law experts who are considering all of this after what happened on Monday when President Trump again pushed a provocative plan to deport U.S. citizens who've been convicted of unspecified crimes. And so we bring this up again because it's that important. Don't take your eye off of it. Today, it's someone else. Tomorrow, it could be you. It could be a loved one. It could be a coworker. This is why showing up at those town halls hosted by your members of Congress are so critically important. That's why saving the number to the congressional switchboard in your cell phone is so critically important, because if you're silent on this, it will only persist. When we come forward, we're switching gears. The news has been heavy. We're going to lighten it up a little bit in classic fashion with a classic guy. Michael Collier, comedian Michael Collier, joins us right here on A More Perfect Union when we come forward.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. Before the fire, Altadena was a real-life Wakanda. A thriving black oasis just 15 miles from downtown Los Angeles. 80% black residents were homeowners, building intergenerational wealth against the odds. It was a hub of black-owned businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. It stood as a symbol of black resilience and economic independence. Then, in a matter of hours, it was gone. The fire tore through homes, swallowed businesses, and left behind a painful void. But was it just an unstoppable act of nature? Or was negligence involved? Did officials ignore early warning signs? Were the response efforts delayed or insufficient? What role, if any, did corporate or government failures play? Survivors are demanding answers. Don't miss our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall. The Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting, on Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center, 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Join Dominic DePrima, Nii-Quartelai Quartey, James Farr, Tavis Smiley, and a panel of survivors, community leaders, and experts as we commemorate day 100 since the wildfires flared up. And we discuss where we go from here. It's KBLA's Eden Altadena Fire. Fire. 100 Days and Counting Town Hall. Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center in Pasadena. Light refreshments to follow. Admission is free, but sign up is required at our KBLA1580.com website. The first 100 attendees will receive a complimentary air purifier. This is a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests as we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and it's not every day that we have a chance to talk to a comedy legend. I'm talking about actor and comedian Michael Collier, who is here promoting the launch of an original scripted comedy series called Highly Favored. Executive produced by the legendary comedy showrunner Bentley Kyle Evans, as in, one of the minds behind Martin and the Jamie Foxx show. This particular project is it's rooted in humor and family and community and a touch of the absurd. And so here to share more, Michael, talk to us about Highly Favored.
Hey, first of all, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on your show. I know it must be difficult because nobody can pronounce your name but you. So
It's not that hard, Michael.
I tried it. I had to get out my thesaurus. I didn't know what was going on.
Nii-Quartelai Quartey.
Nii-Quartelai.
You got it.
Nii-Quartelai. Yeah, if you say it phonetically, Nii-Quartelai, you can say it. But if you try to say it from reading it, it'll be Nii-Quartelai Quartey. Okay, so good morning, brother.
Good morning.
I have been blessed to be on this show and actually to be the lead, number one on the call sheet. Now, I say it every place I go because I've never been the lead in a sitcom. So this is big stuff for me if it ain't for nobody else. So I'm no one on the call sheet. It's called Highly Favored after one of my most favorite phrases, blessed and highly favored. So Highly Favored is a beautiful sitcom that'll put you in the mind of the old school Amen with Sherman Hemsley.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that type of old style comedy show. I am the pastor, which in itself is hilarious that they made the heathen a pastor. Okay, so I'm the pastor. My deacon is the wonderful comedian from Southside Chicago, Rodney Perry, Southside. And then my wife is Kiki Shepard. She's famous from the Apollo. She hold that hand up. You see who won.
Kiki's back?
And Kiki's great. She ain't just back. She's really great. I didn't even know she could act. This child act her face off, dude. She's a perfect wife to me. And then we have Melanie Camacho, who is one of the church sisters. She is hilarious. Even remember Professor Ogilvy from Monique?
How can we not see Professor Ogilvy?
He has an episode, and I mean, he tears it up. That dude is super, 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 super funny. His name is Dorian. What's Dorian's last name? And we know his first name is Dorian. So we're there, Professor. And we even have the great, remember OG Bobby Jackson? OG Bobby Johnson from South Central. Do you know the movie South Central?
I don't remember OG.
Bruh, I'm telling you, if you want to do your heart some good,
yeah,
Rent that movie, South Central, brother. It's absolutely brilliant. And the actor, Glenn Plummer, is magnificent in this part. And so he's on one episode of Eyes of This. He's so good. I mean, the show is so great. Jesse Campbell, who from American Idol, I even slipped him into the choir. So he sings a song in one of the episodes. But this show is about life. It's about family. It's about church. It is family friendly and faith based. So it's all about love and light and lifting each other up. And you deal with your family issues, your family problems. Like, I have two sons. One really, really wants to take the church over. He wants to be, because he feel like I'm getting older in my ways, and he wants to modernize the church and take it over. The other son don't want to have nothing to do with it, right? But if he living in my house, he gonna play them keyboards. I can tell you that right now. Every Sunday, he gonna play them keyboards now. And it's just really so wonderful. Even the extras are good. And you know where extras come from. Let's say your parents want to have 2 or 3 kids, but they have 4 or 5. Then the extras, you know.
Michael, what are you saying? I'm number 5 in my family. What are you saying?
Me too. I'm number 5. We the extras. Me and you, we the extras. Do you have brothers and sisters or just brothers?
No, so I have 4 older brothers, all boys, 5 boys.
Dude, me too.
Get out of town.
I have 4 older brothers. I am the youngest of 5. In fact, I always am jubilant when they all can come, because I just went to Chicago with actually Gary, Indiana, and did a Hard Rock Cafe. It was like 1,700 seater. They were packed in there. George Wallace, J. Anthony Brown, it's one with Teddy Carpenter, and all 3 of my brothers was there. So my oldest brother transcended. So for the 4 of us to have a picture together, and remember, I'm the youngest, and I'm 68, though I don't feel a day over 59. And my oldest, I think, is 74, and all of us was there in our glory, brother. Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is a beautiful thing. So my second oldest brother transitioned, and so there are 3 of us remaining. But it's a beautiful thing. There
should be 4 of you remaining. You only lost 1.
Oh, yes, 4 of us remaining.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I don't read that good, but I count like a
3 plus 1 is sorry. But it's a beautiful thing. The relationship between brothers. Talk to us about how being the youngest of 5 boys in your family, how has that helped you as an artist, as a comedian, and how have you pulled from that in your latest feat, Highly Favored?
Well, the dynamics of brothers is something in the first place. And you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, because you're the youngest. And for some reason, the youngest seems to float up to the top. The youngest ends up talking and stuff and acting like he's actually the oldest, because we've had the most experience in the family. We've watched the older brothers. We've learned what to do, what not to do. So by the time you get to us, and we'd have had the hand-me-downs and the slaps up across the back of our heads, we didn't learn where we should be. And we seem to be more sturdy, more clear, more focused, I think, than the older 3. And my older 3 brothers are fabulous people. And I love them. I think everything's about family and God, which is why this show is so important, because it's a family show. It's about the church, but it's also about the family and the family dynamics, and so God is a great thing. How it informs my decision is family means so much to me. And I've never been the lead in a play, which is really great. I mean, in a sitcom, I've never been number 1 on the call sheet. So be number 1 on the call sheet, I sort of carry it because I got the most lines. But I'm also feeling it. I feel the family. Everybody in this show, their hearts were in it. They knew that this was a passion play. We wasn't fooling around. So even, like I say, the extras was great in this show, brother.
I mean, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful production. It's a different kind of show, Highly Favored. You want to encourage folks to check it out. I've got to ask you about your the fact that in the show there's a clash between tradition and old fashioned.
Yes,
and I think that plays out in family dynamics. I think it plays out certainly, in lots of organizations, including but not limited to the church. What can we look forward to? What can we glean this season's highly favored. What can we glean in terms of navigating those dynamics? So, Easter's right around the corner. And for those of us that are going home for Easter, or for those of us that are joining, mom and dad at church on Easter, Pastor, give us a word to help us navigate the waters.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, Pastor, give us a word to help navigate those waters.
Well, first of all, being a pastor, I'm keeping God in the center. But this is what I do in my life anyway. So God is always the center of my life. If God is not the answer, you're asking the wrong question. With God, you can do anything. One with God is a majority. But without God, stuff don't work out for you. You can't keep your balance going. So you want to be all about, and so me, I want to be all about family and God. And I carry that everywhere I go, not just in this show, but everywhere I go. I know the importance of the Lord. I know the importance of trying to do the right thing. I'm not trying to be perfect, because nobody's perfect. Practice don't make perfect. Practice makes better. You ain't gonna be perfect, but God don't expect you to be perfect. God expects you to just be the true you. So we're supposed to keep unfolding into our greater selves as human beings. And so I always walk with that, and that informs my acting. That informs how I treat other people, is that ideology that God is always there. In fact, it's so funny. All I really want to do in life is make sure that my mother and God are proud of me. That's more important to me than anything else, right? So this show reminds people of the importance of family and the family dynamic, because the first episode, I'm talking about the importance of family. You just because you have the same blood, that don't make you family. Kinfolk, maybe, but not family. Family's a deeper thing. You stand by each other in family, even if you don't like each other. Like me and my brother have had times when some of us wouldn't talk to each other, and some of us would. Like two might talk to the other, and one might talk to. And then we've had times when all of us were on perfect accord. Like right now, I was telling them this weekend, my mother would be so happy now to know that all four of us are actually getting along and going places together and lifting each other, because once again, everything's about family and God. So in this show, you get to feel it. You get to hear it. There's some fussing. There's some carrying on. There's some stuff that don't work out. But in the end, it all works out when you can remember to love each other. When you can remember that it's all good, because it's all God, man. And I tell you something, laughter is healing. See, if you can laugh through a thing, you can get through a thing. It's scientifically proven that your body changes and reforms itself based on how much you laugh. There was a great Dr. Norman Cousins. He was told in 1966 he had 6 months to live because he was dying of cancer. First thing he did is get out the hospital. He said, "You don't be in there. Everybody in there sick. Get out of there." He moved into a hotel suite because one suite was way cheaper than one night at a hospital. Then he rolled a big screen TV in there, and all he did for the next months was watch comedy back to back. The Three Stooges, the Marx Brothers, Heckle and Jekyll, any comedy you could think of, he watched them back to back and consumed vitamin C. He ate oranges, drank orange juice. Now he died anyway, but that was 18 years later. That was 18 years later, and by then he'd become a professor at UCLA.
He died on his own terms. And maybe he died happy. Maybe he died
18 years later, he was real happy, and by then he had written 7 books about healing yourself through laughter and vitamin C, bro.
I think there's something to that. I know part of how I decompress, following the day's news and reporting on what's happening here in Washington and other parts of the country. By the time I wrap up the show, I'm looking to decompress. And so, in the evening, if I'm not watching a doc, I'm typically watching some kind of comedy. I want an escape. I want some levity. I want to laugh.
Yeah.
How do you escape, after, a long day on set where part of your job is to perform and to be funny, right? How do you decompress after you leave the set?
This might come strange to you, but I don't compress. I never have to decompress. I walk with God every day. Every single solitary day, I walk with God. And I feel like I have a responsibility to spread happiness and joy everywhere I go. That is my owance. That's what I owe God, for being merciful to me, for loving me. Because I'm a crackhead. I'm an addict. I did crack for 23 years. So as of March 1st, I have 16 years of pure sobriety. So every breath I take is a gift from God. And I'm constantly thanking God all day and every day. So I don't ever get in those situations because I remain joyful. I refuse to allow situations to determine my circumstances to determine my attitude. I walk every day with an attitude of gratitude. So no matter what happens, no matter what comes towards me, at me, I'm not letting that put me down. I'm not letting it depress me. I'm not letting it stop my truth. And the truth is the Lord. I feel like if I wake up in the morning and everything's working and nothing hurts, I already won. I already won right there. And a lot of us forget about having an attitude of gratitude, knowing that there's a lot of stuff that's going on in your life that you might not care for, that might not be working, but there's way more stuff than that that's actually working in your life every day. We woke up and we halfway cute. You know how many people went to bed last night who had plans for this afternoon who ain't even here no more, brother? You know how many family members we've outlived, that some of them should have outlived us? Every breath is a gift. So no, I'm never in that situation. I don't decompress. Plus, almost every day I'm doing comedy somewhere. So every day I'm lifting other people through humor. Like I said, I'm in Birmingham, Alabama this weekend at the Stardome. 5 shows. So every weekend I either do a major concert or 5 shows at a smaller room. And that's almost every weekend. So I live in a realm of comedy and humor and light and joy. And with our current situation, political worldviews, people are so uptight. If they can't laugh, they're going to punch somebody in the face. Why do you think you can cut on a video and see people bawling and fighting every day on the internet? Because they forgot the truth. The truth is God. The truth is love, man. If God is not the answer, you're asking the wrong question, man. And with God, you could do anything, be anything, go anywhere. And without him, you can keep bumping into stuff and usually bumping into yourself. If most people could learn to get out of their own way, they'd be so much better. I want people to take it, but I want you to take it easy. And when you got God in your life, easy is easy. I remember who I'm with.
It's living in the flow. It's living in the flow. I just celebrated my 41st birthday, and
nice.
I'm acutely aware that I got to see 41, whereas I know people who didn't, right? And so there's some people who play coy, with the birthdays, like, oh, I'm just getting older. They don't want to give you the number. No, I want to give you the number,
Me too.
Because there are a number of people who may not have seen that number, and folks get to see me and say, hey, this is what 41 can look like. We're all possibility models. When we come forward, I want to dig into your body of work for some of our leaders, learners, and listeners who may be less familiar with your body of work. I bet when I go down the list, they're going to become real familiar. But I want to talk to you about longevity in the business, longevity in life. We are talking to Michael Collier. He is an actor and comedian, and he is at the top of the call sheet.
Yes, number 1
for the newest scripted comedy series, Highly Favored. You can watch it on the Impact Network. More with Michael Collier when we come forward. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, let me see who is it.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
To do it. Black people make up about 32% of the U.S. prison population. A federal judge says she will not hold the government in contempt of court for now over the deportation of a man to El Salvador. The White House originally said the man who was living in Maryland was mistakenly deported due to a paperwork error. Maryland's Attorney General Anthony Brown, who is Black, has joined a coalition that aims to protect affordable health care coverage. They're pushing back against proposed Trump administration changes that would undermine the Affordable Care Act. And it's Black Maternal Health Week, where officials raise awareness of the dangers Black women face during pregnancy. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Stall in Ontario. This is on the 10 eastbound before Vineyard. Big rig stuck in the 3 left lanes. Big delays backing up away from Fairplex out of Pomona. Chino Hills. Car flipped over on the 71 southbound coming up on Riverside Drive. The left lane has been blocked and delays backing up off of the 57 freeway. Improvement in Victorville. 15 northbound before Bear Valley Road. 2 right lanes are now blocked after an earlier crash, and big delays still served up getting away from Ranchero Road.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Today is Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball. On this day, 78 years ago, April 15, 1947, Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers to become Major League Baseball's first black player. A major shout out to the Capital One Corporation. While the Trump administration is trying to bully institutions to get rid of their diversity initiatives, Capital One is maintaining its support for the Jackie Robinson Foundation. The credit card giant has a walk-off program where the company donates $1,000 for every game-winning hit in a Major League game. Capital One has donated over $1 million since the program started in 2022. That's an average of $334,000 a year for Robinson's foundation. Capital One is promoting its walk-off program for this season. In spite of the rhetoric coming out of the White House, diversity initiatives are doing very well at Capital One and Major League Baseball. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LAC-JCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit me.
National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, let me see who is it.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and I'm talking to actor and comedian Michael Collier. If you haven't heard, there is an original scripted comedy series called Highly Favored that I highly recommend. It premieres, it just premiered on the Impact Network. That's where you can find it.
That's right.
But for those of you who might be a little less familiar, Michael Collier has quite a body of work. You might recognize his voice as Buford the Frog in Disney's first Black animated film, The Princess and the Frog. And this is a throwback. You have to be a certain age to know this reference. He's also a Star Search winner. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to be an old person to remember something like that.
What do you mean old person? I'm 40. That ain't old.
That's why you don't remember it. You're too young to remember that.
Oh, please. Did you get 3 stars or 4 stars from Star Search? What'd you win?
All the stars. I won $100,000.
Oh,
yeah, I won $100,000 and promptly gave half to the homeless.
Oh,
absolutely,
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I killed them on Star Search. Oh, man, I smashed them up like a bag of potato chips. And I know you 41, but you don't look a day over 40.
You ain't no good, Michael Collier.
And give me all my titles. I'm also a motivational speaker and an author. You know, this is my second children's book, Little Bobby White. But the kids are black. Look at it. And it is a brilliant book. It's on Amazon. Little Bobby White is the story of a kid who always wins because he always chooses to do the right thing. It's a lesson we don't teach anymore, brother. We don't teach our kids to be good for goodness sake. In fact, we don't teach them anything. What we do is we give them a device and we sit them in a corner and we come back in 8 years and we don't know why they're sitting on the bed with a pistol, rolling joints and calling us out our names. It's because we're forgetting our responsibility as adults, you know, as parents. You know, we ain't supposed to be raising kids. We're supposed to be raising young adults, you know, and so we're going to get there in a minute. We're getting there.
Well, I love that. And so, again, the book is called Little Bobby White. But Bobby White's black?
Yep, Bobby White is black and his friend is Hispanic.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Because it's not about the color. It's about the story. It's a universal story. And I'm thinking Oprah Winfrey is going to hold this book up and call it her book of the year. Look, the art will knock your socks off. The brother who did the art did that famous picture of Kaepernick where he's got an afro that looks like a big old fist.
Yeah.
This brother is absolutely brilliant. His name is DeMar Douglas. And even if you don't buy my little corny book, you need to go online and pull up DeMar Douglas and just look at his art. It will, I mean, some of it will, it'll bring a tear to your eye and it'll bring joy to your heart. That boy is bad.
We will do that. We will do that. You're also the voice of the Cleveland Show, and you've worked.
Oh, wait. I gotta tell you this. The Cleveland Show is produced by Mike Henry. He's a white dude. Mike Henry plays all 3 of the major black voices, including Cleveland. And I taught him stand-up comedy at UCLA 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And forgot about him. I forgot about him, Doc. I was on a plane one day in first class where I be. And I was sitting there thinking, I hope a black person or a positive person or maybe one of each will sit next to me on this flight. And a white dude come in. He sat next to me. I didn't even remember him. And he said, you know what? You taught me comedy at UCLA. I said, really? What's your name? He said, Mike Henry. I said, well, what are you doing with yourself now? He said, I got a little show on TV called The Cleveland Show. I said, what? You have the show? He said, yeah, I do the major voices. I produced it. I did the Cleveland Show 3 times because of that, bro.
Oh, that's incredible. What a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was great. So go ahead.
It also underscores the importance of educators. Certainly, I'm sure, you know, you've been following the headlines as closely as we have here. And, you know, you've seen sort of the assault, you know, on public education as an educator who, you know, has students that have gone out into the world and are producing content that raises consciousness. What say you about the hostility to educators and to public education in this moment?
Well, it's a terrible thing, but it's really, really bad because we're used to it for Black people. So for them to try to shut us down, we're used to. Why do you think we created historical Black college and university, HBCUs? Is because we couldn't get into their schools. And since the beginning of time, white folks have tried to stop Black people from learning. You get caught reading, I'll kill you and your whole family. Because if you learn who you are, then you wake up to who you are. And we're in a society that's terrified that we'll wake up to one day to how we've been treated all these years, and that we may do something that will scare everybody. We may stand together. Huh. If Black people stand together as a group, oh Lord, the world is going to change. And it won't be about destruction. It'll be about creativity and building and connectedness. You've never seen Black folks go around and be mad at other folks because they're not them. So they're not, okay, so you're white, you're Asian, you're whatever, so we're going to take what's yours and hate you for it. No. We've only tried to survive and grow in a society that we've been brought into non-voluntarily, and we've made the best of it. I'm telling you, Black people, and this ain't a racist statement, loving yourself out loud is not racism. That's called race pride. But Black people are my favorite people in the whole wide world. And I say it in a room full of white people. And I know how to fight, and I got bail in my socks, and I will speak up. It's the same way I speak about the Lord. Like I talk about God everywhere. I praise the Lord in your face. I'm not hiding over here somewhere whispering it. I'm saying it right here. I stand for God, and it's that kind of stuff is important, because if you don't stand for something, man, you'll fall for anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're such an inspiration in so many ways. You've had so much longevity in a business that is rough, right? It's show business, and that business part,
cutthroat,
cut people, and they bleed all the way home. Don't come back. Talk to us about what has been your secret, aside from your spirituality and putting God at the very center of your life. Talk to us about what has allowed you to have the kind of longevity in this business that a lot of folks are aspiring for.
Well, unfortunately, I can't put that aside. The God thing is the reason. That's the reason that all my stuff has worked, that has worked. Because, man, I've been up against it many times. I've been through hell and high water. It was the God thing that brought me back. Because the God thing reminds me that I have worth, that I have value. So even when things don't work, that's why I say I don't have a bad day. And people say, man, everybody have a bad day sometimes. Not me. I don't have any of those. Because even if things don't work out, that don't make me have a bad day. I still remember the truth. And the truth is God. And with God, I can do anything. I can walk on water. I can fly through air. So what I choose to do is be an actor and a comedian and a motivational speaker that is also a healer. Because as I'm doing stuff, I want to take people with me. I want to remind you of your greatness. When I meet people, I almost compliment almost everybody I meet. I'll find something good about you to say about you, because you might not have had anybody say nothing nice about you that whole day. And my little compliment, I look at people and all of a sudden their eyes glass over, because sometimes we are not given the love, and we're not reminded that we love you, man. You okay, you good, just the way you are. A lot of people think they got to change, but no. God don't create no junk. You're perfect, exactly the way you are. You ain't got to act like nobody else. You ain't got to be like nobody else. All you have to do is be you. If you can be the authentic you, which is so difficult for so many people because of fear, and fear is inverted faith. Fear is the opposite of faith. Fear is faith turned upside down. Fear is faith that the wrong thing is going to happen. Thank God he couldn't block me with that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Hey, I'm on live. Thank you. Call you back. Right,
you never know. You never know when God's calling.
You never know when God's calling. That's why I checked. That wasn't God. If it comes up as God, I'm throwing this thing away. Like I was talking to the president the other day of the company.
The president of what?
Of the company. Royal of this company, not the United States. I don't care about that dude. But the president Royal of this company who put the show together, which is Impact TV. And I was in the middle of talking to him, and I looked up and saw the making of Highly Favored. It just came up on my TV. I hung up on him. I just hung up. I hung up and went and watched myself on TV. You know what I'm saying? It is a pleasure to live. It is a joy to live. It is a gift to live. And when we change our minds to that mindset, everything works out. everything works out because life was meant to work. It wasn't meant to be difficult. People are like, oh, that's too good to be true. No, God is good. It's all good because it's all God. So good is the truth. That's the way it's supposed to work. When it's not working, that's what's out of sync. That's what's incorrect. I have to tell you this real quick because I don't know how long you have, but my favorite story from the Bible is David and Goliath. Mm-hmm. And David had to face this ugly, tall, ugly, tooth missing, bad breath giant. And the only weapon he had was a smooth stone that he had got from the river. And when he faced off with Goliath, he was like, dude, I'm going to take your head. But not because of who I am, not because of what I have, but do you see who I'm with? One with God is a majority, bruh. And when we get back to that, then we can be whatever we want to be. We can be engineers, we can be dancers, we can be artists, we can be anything as long as we keep God first. So just imagine I get a show where I get to play a minister and have fun talking about God stuff and lifting people up while tickling their funny bones. Because I'm telling you, if you can laugh through a thing, you can get through a thing.
Amen, amen, amen. Our thanks to Michael Collier. Go out and check out Highly Favored on the Impact Network. You will not be disappointed.
It's easy.
You will be encouraged.
It's easy. All you have to do is go online, go to any search site and just put in watchimpact.com and it'll tell you what channel it is in your neighborhood.
There you have it. There you have it. Our thanks to Michael Collier. You have been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 15.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
This is Stevie Wonder, calling on Los Angeles property owners to help get unhoused veterans off the street. If you're a property owner or know someone who is, consider accepting veteran housing vouchers. You will receive guaranteed rent while providing a stable and safe home. Help end veteran homelessness and make a real difference in people's lives.
Learn more by emailing houseourvets@lacity.org.
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't want to see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now. No more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
What it takes to...
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. Just a real quick editorial reminder that this Wednesday, tomorrow, April 16th, is day 100 since the wildfire erupted in Altadena. Of course, we're broadcasting live from Los Angeles today, but we're asking you to join us. Join us this week for our live national broadcast of the KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall as we commemorate this fateful day, as we celebrate the resilience of Altadenians, as we embrace this beloved Black community. Don't you worry, we're going to be giving away air purifiers and $100 gift cards to survivors. And so please make sure you come through. Come through Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time for our town hall. We're calling it the Altadena Eaton Fire 100 Days and Counting. This event is free, but you got to register at KBLA1580.com, where you'll find all the pertinent details about the town hall. And so come through. I know the entire team has been working really hard to organize this and pull together. The panels consist of people that are in community, people that are not strangers to Altadena. And I'm really delighted to be co-moderating the event along with my colleagues, Dominique DePrima, host of First Things First here on KBLA Talk 1580. Also my new colleague, James Farr, who hosts our weekend show, which is the show of record that is staying on top of all things Altadena relief, all things Altadena rebuild and recovery. Conversations Live, Altadena Rising, right here on KBLA Talk 1580. And of course, Tavis Smiley will be joining us as well. And so come out and check that out. Now, let me finish with this. If you enjoy a good meal as much as I enjoy a good meal, you don't want to miss this. Here in LA, my mouth is already watering. I'm already thinking about, dinner plans while I'm here in the City of Angels. And you can't think about dinner plans and not think about the price of dinner going up. One of the big questions, as reported by the LA Times, will tariffs threaten the diversity of LA menus? Spiking ingredient prices have chefs scrambling. We're freaking out. That's what Billy Sayavong is saying. He and his wife operate Knox Kitchen, one of the few restaurants in Southern California devoted to cuisine from Laos. This Westminster restaurant has been featured repeatedly in the LA Times 101 best restaurant list. But in just the last week, shortly after President Trump announced new tariffs, Billy watched the restaurant's meat and seafood invoices increase by 30%. Knox Kitchen relies heavily on goods imported from all over Southeast Asia to make its signature grilled sausage and its fiery larb and crispy rice salad. Even with the president's 90-day pause on tariffs, the Sayavongs are no more confident in their ability to continue to operate the restaurant in an unsteady economic climate. It's a reality that's faced by restaurants across the city who continue to struggle with the aftermath of the writer's strike. Remember that? And the recent fire disasters. We certainly remember that. Dozens of businesses have already closed since the start of the year, with more closures announced in recent weeks. Tariffs are affecting restaurants serving cuisines that rely on goods from countries with the highest tariff set, including South and Southeast Asia. where the proposed hikes range from 17% to 49%. But this is the deal. The tariffs, they aren't just putting these businesses in jeopardy. They're threatening the diversity of the culinary landscape of Southern California and the very heart of what makes LA one of the greatest dining cities in the world. Taxes are a part of President Trump's America First trade policy meant to benefit American workers, manufacturers, farmers, ranchers, entrepreneurs, and businesses. You see, the greatest restaurants in America and a large percentage of the most successful restaurants in LA, they were built on the diversity of our immigrant communities. And 1 in 10 restaurants in the country serve Mexican food, and 12% of all restaurants in America serve Asian food, with the majority being Chinese, Japanese, or Thai. So what does that mean? It means these tariffs are not just going to hit a dining table near you, a plate near you, but a wallet and a pocketbook near you. All this talk about America First and being this otherworldly businessman, making people's lives easier, making people's lives better. Is your life better? Are things cheaper? What's the cost of those eggs? I'm just asking. We're going to leave it there. My thanks to the Village that helps us produce a more perfect union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley. Our sound engineer, Andy. Our show producers, Kim, Faraji, and Art. And, of course, each and every one of you, all of our devoted leaders, learners, and listeners, we thank you. And remember, don't panic, organize. Do what you can from where you are with what you have, but by all means, do something. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tax day is today for most of the U.S., but over a dozen states are getting extensions. The IRS announced that Arkansas and Tennessee also qualify for an extension because of recent